All right, we're gonna get started though. So I'm super excited tonight. We have the privilege of learning and hearing from Jessica Cook. Jessica has been in business for a very long time, and it's just fun to see for those of us who have been here for a while and we've been through different seasons and stuff. It's just really fun to see just how that continues to she carries things over and we've done hard, you guys. Business isn't always easy. And so let's just start. First of all, my name is Sarah O'Connell. I have been in this industry for over 13 years. And so, Jess, how long have you been in? Oh, I can't hear you. Shoot, hold on. Try again. You're not,
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Okay, we got you. Okay.
Yeah, 10 years.
Oh yeah, see, like we're like OGs, okay? So if you ever have thought to yourself, I say this all the time, but if you've ever thought to yourself, like, I wonder how, like, if these things last or what they're like. And I just always say this because that was me, you guys. Like, when I joined, I was kind of skeptical. I'm like, but I didn't have anything to lose. So I was like, hey, I'm here. I'm going to go. And so, really, like, just know if you're building and you're showing up, you can have a long lasting business for a very long time. And so, as we merged over, I will never forget this. We were like, we're all learning, right? As we're merging two companies together, and we got to learn with people. And so that was a little different. Like, it's a little different than starting and kind of learning and then bringing people with you. It was like, we were like, okay, but you know what? You find your trailblazers. And honestly, you guys, that I always say this, that is one thing that changed my business to where it was like a really good business on a strong foundation is when I just was like, you know what, I'm going to blaze the trail, whatever that may look like. And so, really, I always just encourage you guys, be a trailblazer, like, no matter what it is. Jessica doesn't wait for me to tell her what to do. We have questions all the time, but we still just act, we still show up, and we're like, you know, we're going to freaking figure it out. You know, we may not know everything, but as you do, you learn. And really, you start kind of, you hear things over and over. And one of the first things is we merged over with Zinzino. And Jess, would you say you're agreeing?
Yes,
Okay,
for sure.
I'm also agreeing. So if you don't know personality colors, we like details. Like, tell us the info and we will like roll. Okay. So, anyways, her and I, first thing we noticed, and again, you guys, we highlight this a lot, but it's so neat that Zinzino has like a customer career plan, but it also has the partner career plan. And so you can be earning off of both, right? And so if you're here to build and you're here to make good money, you definitely want to do both. But I think it is so incredible because I always say this. There's a lot of us, just make sure you're muted if you can. Um, there's a lot of us that get in this and we get started and we're like, we've never done something like this before. We don't have a whole lot of belief in ourselves. We're a little nervous. We're like, we don't know who would be on our team. And really, just so you know, like, we don't know who's on our team next either. Okay. But we start and we're like, but we love the products, right? So drop a one in the chat if you were like, hey, I got started in this business because I truly love the products first, because that was honestly me. And so know that you can come in and you can make great money in the customer career plan. And that was one thing, like, it was really different for us, and in a really good way, right? Like, change can be so good. And so I remember when I was coming back, I was telling Jess, I was like, no, they pay you a lot for your customers. They're very customer oriented, right? And we know why, right? They have a huge vision. We have a huge vision of making an incredible impact and really fulfilling a gap in health and wellness that is very much needed to be filled. And so, with our test-based nutrition, our balance test, our the solution to fill that gap and help people find cellular balance, we were like, hey, this is going to be great. So, I will never forget. Jessica was like, she saw the customer career plan. We were like combing through it, and she was like, I'm going top team. Like, this is crazy. Like, I'm going top team. And then last month she went and did it. And so I just love that. Just know, like, things don't happen by chance. Like, there was one thing that she saw, and she may not knew didn't know everything going into it, but she was like, I'm going to get there, and little by little she did that. So tonight we're going to highlight exactly how she did that. I think you guys will relate to a lot of things that she shares. Because again, it's not about knowing everything. It's just about really making a decision and jumping in and truly committing to it. So, Jess, will you start with this? First of all, thanks for joining us tonight and being so willing to share. But will you start with just a little bit of the story of like how you got started in this industry? Just you love health in general. She lives it. She's an example of it. I love that. And so she ties it in very well and very natural and very genuine like. And so just share a little bit of why you got started in really this industry and what really you were most excited about when we merged with Zinzino.
For sure. So I actually was so skeptical to start a business like this. And my girlfriend, I watched her lose 75 pounds. And I honestly, I've always been someone who's eaten well and just been conscious of being active. But when you have babies, a lot of things change. And I was over 200 pounds. And even with the trying to do my best to be healthy and eat, I just felt tired and I felt stuck. And I was like, you know what? My body just needs a boost. And the greens is actually one of the products that I just remember. I'm a labeled looker, like you can tell I'm a green, and flipping it over and being like, wow, like all of the ingredients in here are so flipping good. And I wanted to try the wraps as well to tighten up after having babies. So I was like, you know what? I want to be able to work from home. Actually, the work from home wasn't even on my radar. My girlfriend, we were chatting products, and she was like, well, you can get the products as a customer, or you can get the products as a rep and earn income at the same time. And I was like, I've never done anything like this before. I didn't have Facebook. I didn't have social media. She had to help me put my profile picture up. When I told her that, and I was like, how do I change my profile picture? She was like, oh my gosh. Okay. So you can start from the very beginning and just go from there. It was slow for me because I had to learn social. I was so nervous. And to get out there, like we all feel those feelings, of course. So it was slow in the beginning, but I knew that I wanted to be able to work from home. As soon as my daughter was born too, I was like, you know what? This is worth a try. And if it doesn't work, I can always go back to work, all those kinds of things. So yeah, I was like, well, you can do it through health and nutrition. I was over 200 pounds, like I said, and so I started with the greens. I think one of the big things is just the feeling. And if you know the feeling of being in that, like you just feel gross, and then all of a sudden you have energy and your sleep's better and your skin's better and your regularity is better and you just feel good. That's when I was like, okay, I could share. And I know the ingredients are good. That goes together. And I was like, okay, I could definitely share this. And you guys, we didn't have the coffee, the burn, we didn't have majority of our products. There was pretty much like 3 that I stuck to, and that's what I built off of. And obviously, that passion still stays. So one of the things for me was when the merge with Zinzino happened, and I was like, the oil and the test, the fact that you can have test-based nutrition and that it's good for so many things. Like you could test your eye health, your brain health for um, like Alzheimer's and like all those kind of things, making sure that like your brain health is on track, your immune system, if you're someone who's getting sick all the time, your cellular health, the fact that you can see those changes, I was like, this is freaking cool. And like you said, the no guessing thing, when you can just go in with like full confidence, I was like, this is something that we get to keep our products and we get to add that. And in Canada, you guys, we only have 4. We have like US has so much. I'm like waiting for it to come to Canada. Sarah knows.
Yes.
But just the oil and test and the Viva, like those are great products to start with. So the fact that I'm just going to be totally honest and transparent. There was a point in the It Works that we were kind of falling into the skinny culture, and I feel like this is what we needed to get just get back on track with just knowing that your health is so important, your body is so important. You only get one. You really do have to take care of yourself as well. So yeah.
So here's a few things I want you guys to know is like leading with product and finding the products that you love is literally all you need to build a successful business and to find success. And your product that you love might be different than a product that I love or that Jess loves or whatever. But that's the beauty of trying things of in Zinzino. You can earn free product every single month of your choice. The other thing I want you to hear her say, okay, and I'm going to point this out because I do think this is so important. And you guys, I read something actually the other day, and it was like, somebody's very smart when they simplify things. How funny is that? Like, if they can simplify things or a concept, like they're like next level. So one thing I always tell you guys is keep things simple. Because the thing is when I look back, I built to the top of my company, and we literally built on like 4 products. It was like the skinny wraps, which we still have, and you heard her talk about that too. You guys, sometimes I think we sleep on those. Like, I'm like, those might make its way back. Like, Europe was so excited. Like, that's the one thing they were so excited about. And I'm like, gosh, we don't even hardly talk about that. That's funny. But it was the skinny wraps, fat biters, defining gel. That was actually a pack. Okay. And then greens. Like, that is literally what I built my business on. We didn't have coffee. We didn't have weight loss stuff. Like, we didn't even have that kind of stuff. And so I'm looking at this, and I said that to Jess too. Like, when we were looking, we are coming in the US, Canada, Mexico. You guys, they just announced this the other day on a call. 61,000 people only have been tested in the US. Like, if that doesn't blow your freaking mind of like the gold mine that we're sitting on. And so, yes, you can kind of feel some growing pains, but also if you focus on what you have, and you're focused on the balance test and the oil, and then you keep doing all the other things that you already had been doing, you will blow this out of the water. So Canada literally has 4 products. And that's what I said to Jess. I go, what's funny is, as we dove in and we were like looking, like, how do we approach this? What is it going to look like over there? And I told her, I go, that is so crazy, because the balance oil, the balance test, huge. Obviously, we should lead with it. If you want to lead with your other products, I say upsell the crap out of that onto everything, because it's just going to make your results so much better. But I was like, Viva, I was like, girl, that's all you need. I told her, I was like, as moms, as women, I was like, that is literally all you need. So as she continues and their country gets more and more products, which they will, but the thing is she has just earned herself top team, which is incredible. I think there's like 2 other levels after that, and earned herself an $11,500 bonus by continuing to do what she already knew and adding in Viva and balance oil. So let's just talk about that, Jess. I want you to share, as you kind of made that goal, what has been your focus and your approach? Because I always say, I'm like, you find your thing and then you literally just continue to do it, right? So share with them what you've been focused on. You can, whether it's messaging or whatever your actions are, but also I want you to share like the products that you kind of have honed in on and are helping people get set up on, so that you were able to go and accomplish your goal of top team.
Yeah, for sure. So, I wanted to focus on the customer career plan. I'm going to be like super transparent. When we did the merge, I had a lot of team leave, and it kind of shook me for a second. And I was like, okay, I have like options. I can either choose to find something different, but I love the products. So the products definitely are the thing that like kept me here, because I'm like, I'm going to be getting them anyway. 100%, like coffee, aloe, hair, skin, nails, like greens for sure. Anyways, and so obviously my team, a lot of my team left, and I was like, one of the ways that I can make my income solid, so that I can still, because this has been like my full-time income from home for the last 10 years. I haven't had to have a 9-to-5 job. So I was like, I could build with just customers. And I have been very good at enrolling customers. I would say that's like been my jam for the most part. And so I was like, I can make up that check. And you guys, I am earning now what I would have made as almost a double diamond in just customers alone. So that blows my mind. Like, I didn't see the income potential at first, because I was like, I don't know how works. We're trying to learn the compensation plan. We're trying to introduce new products. We're trying to help our team transition everyone over from the website. Like, it was like, It was so overwhelming. That's why I was
A
like, I need
lot.
people in my life, is
Yes.
because I felt stressed and overwhelmed for a while.
Yeah.
So anyways, so I just knew that one, I wanted to take care of my current customers. So that is that's something that's always been huge of mine. Like when I sign someone new, I put them in my calendar for a week from then. I'm checking in, they get their products. I have like a an ongoing monthly reminder for those in my calendar. So like whenever their subscription is going to come, I check in with them before. How's it going? Are you wanting to keep it the same? Is there anything you're wanting to add? As far as like product recommendations, I would say a lot of what I post about my customers come to me with. So I usually share like in my stories, like the coffee and the aloe and the gummies. I love as well. And then I kind of originally, if I'm hosting a post, okay, I'm totally not following my notes at all, but if I'm getting potentials, my host posts come from still the 30-day drop, and then I add on the oil. And one of the reasons why is because it does still hit a lot of the areas that people struggle with: inflammation, gut health, burning extra calories if they can't be active, cortisol levels, all those kinds of things. And then so first and foremost, I wanted to take care of my customers, but normally if I'm having the customer conversation with someone, whether I'm introducing them to the 30-day drop, like that's what I lead with the HAPS, I still ask the question after I give them the information is, do you have a health or weight loss goal in mind to feel your best? So it doesn't really matter which product I'm leading with. I'm always asking them what they're struggling with. And then based off of what they tell me, I'm making suggestions for that. And I think that's one of the things that helped me get to like A team, top team, pro team, top team, was that I'm always someone who I'm like, I have like 4 products in mind from what you said. Like you're struggling with carbs, you know, your gut health is really out of whack. I have these 4 recommendations I'm going to share, and then you let me know what works best. And normally they'll pick at least 2 to 3, sometimes 4 of those product recommendations, depending how large their goal is, what their budget's like. That kind of thing. It's very rare that I have a customer that just purchases one product, because I really do ask them and listen to what they're struggling with, give them the options they choose. I think that answered your question.
Yeah. And so, okay, so do you feel like most of them are coming from stories, or how are you getting the conversations going? So we talk about that a lot, because conversations, like that's your whole goal in everything we do. So whether it's posting, whether it's post to post, whether it is stories, your goal is to get into conversation. So I always say to everybody, as soon as you get into that conversation, slow down and listen to people. So just like Jess said, it's like when somebody's asking, I always answer the question that brought them to me. But again, she told you guys, like she asks them, what is your health or wellness focus or goal that you have right now? You guys, that opens up the entire catalog. Like there you can start, and you can kind of start sharing lots of different things. The other thing I want you to notice, Jess, you did not get that many customer points and credits by just talking about one product, right? So for most people, I would say on average, how many products do you feel like your customers are starting on?
I would say on average, my customers will get around 3 products.
Yeah. So
Usually.
I want you to hone in on that. Okay. Like, so she asked them. So now you're not just going off of a script. You just got to slow down a little bit. And then also she starts high. She gives options. So when we've been in this for as long as we have, I've said this so many times. I'm like, I love when people are like, I just love that you're not salesy and you're not pushy. And I'm like, I do too, because I never want to be that. And I never, ever will teach that. But if you can ask questions about themselves and you start catering things to them instead of just your script, like I do love for people to have some support in what to say, but also know that you know what to do. Like you give it a little confidence to be like, I do, as you learn the products and you do the things, if you slow down and listen to what they're saying, you are going to know what to offer them. And so same thing, you guys, it is so much easier to start with a pack that focuses on multiple things. Most people aren't just like, oh, I have one thing to focus on. Like it's like a slew of things once you open the door and ask them. So if you start high, the likelihood of them actually getting more than one product is so much higher, and it is going to move you and your income forward so much faster. But not to mention, like you are allowing them to get excited or fall in love with multiple products. Okay. Like if I look at what I've used daily, and even when I watch Jess, like when she's on her stories, like we probably have anywhere from 4 to 6 products that we are using every single day. Like that's your goal, is to help them find products that they cannot live without, that help them feel their absolute best. So I want you just to kind of hear that out. So just share with us, like, what are your actions and how are you getting those conversations going to make that conversion?
Yes. And I would say, if you look at my page right now, it has been lacking for the last couple weeks. I'm not going to lie. Normally, I'm very consistent sharing about the products on my page as well. But the thing is, if you're doing host to post, honestly, 85% of my customers come from HAPs. I don't necessarily have to be, I don't want to say that. That sounds bad. I don't have to be as consistent posting about the products on my page if I'm doing HAPs. Some people don't even add me as a friend. Some people don't even go to my page. Some people are just in the inbox. Like they just want the information and they will shop if you're talking to them. I think voice notes are really important too, because of the fact that people that don't know you can hear you. And whether they come to my page from a HAP and then see my story and then purchase, like 85% of my page comes from host to posts. So in the inbox, if your inbox isn't flowing, you're not going to be signing. For the longest time, I was really scared to. Well, we didn't really have host to post, did we? For like the first 7 years, I feel like.
No, crazy.
But yeah, I would say just being really consistent with HAPs and get a giveaway post on your page like once a week, once every 2 weeks. You don't have to overdo the giveaways on your page. You get other people to post giveaways. Then you get into their networks and you get some people to post about their products, some of the giveaway, and you just have this continual flow of conversations. And your inbox, like sometimes mine is so busy that I'm like, I almost don't care about follow-ups because I have so many new conversations going. But I would say 50-50, like 85% host to post, but the most of my enrollments will come from a follow-up. Like a follow-up Friday is my jam.
Yeah. And so what host to post do you use the most?
I should have sent this to you actually. I was thinking about that when I was writing mine. Let me just read it. And
we can add it to the chat afterwards too.
oops. It is, are any of my friends wanting to heal their gut and lose 20 to 30 pounds in the next 90 days? My friend Jessica is looking for reviewers for her natural system. And then just like the pointing hand down. That one is like my OG one that I always use. And then I kind of just switch it up a little bit and change the emojis and stuff.
Yeah. And then you do giveaways and you have them post about the giveaway. Yeah. So again, you guys do what works. And if there's something that's not working, like that's why you get on calls like this, so that you can tweak things. But really, like when I'm looking at stuff, I'm like doing what works and like what you know, right? Like we all came in new. So even if you're like, hey, I started brand new at Cinzino, listen, so did all of us. We're like, us too. Okay. We did too. So really it's like learning what is working. Also host to post, like do not sleep on host to post. I feel like I can see within our team, like things had kind of slowed down on host to post as we were learning. However, can I just share with you, over the last 2 months, I've watched our entries literally quadruple. And guess what? People's enrollments have also gone way up. So again, just know, like, having those conversations, you guys, that's where your conversion is going to happen. And I do love, like, I know that you said this too, but sometimes people are like, well, I don't post a lot on social media. Like I hear that sometimes when people are coming in and they're interested about being a partner, and it's like, well, you don't have to just like live and breathe on posting, right? Like here, Jessica has gone and went top team, and it's like, I don't post 6 times a day. Like I don't do that. Like you're going to see that it's very consistent. I always usually have stories up. I have posts going. I'm a product of the product, but a lot of what is happening is behind the scenes, right? It's in those conversations. It's in your inbox. And so you guys, we don't get paid to post, right? So I always tell people like if you are only getting posting done, but you're not messaging or getting into those conversations, you got to reroute what your priorities are and what you have time for. Because if somebody said to me, like, if you only had so much time to do two things, what would it be? I would tell you I am host of posting and I am messaging because that's where the money's at. And so I think that's one thing that you also just have to know messaging and being in that conversation is everything. The other thing that's really kind of fun about all of this too, and this is like, Jesse, you're going to probably see this, but you are so good at serving your people when you're there. And you guys, that will pay you back tenfold. Okay. Again, that is where I slow down. People to me are people. They are never a number. They are never an enrollment to where my goal is or anything like that. I'm like, you can still like be this amazing, genuine person while also going and doing all the things over here behind the scenes, right? In your business. But the thing is like, you guys, a simple question, it's the same question that got Jess as a partner, that got me as a partner. And it was simple. It was just like, hey, so people that I am getting good feedback from when I'm following up with my customers, I literally just ask them, I'm like, hey, do you know that you can share these products? And you know what's weird? I don't know if you started having this yet, but I have a lot of people who are like, my mom and dad need this, or they like, as I follow up with them, they're telling me people who need it. So as soon as you hear that, or as soon as somebody's willing to post for you, you guys, you should be asking them and telling them about the business, plain and simple. Because again, it's just an open mouth and you have no idea. I will tell you, since merging with Zinzino, the people who have just like jumped right in, they were my customers. They got their balance test, they saw it within a few weeks, they started feeling so much better, their sleep, their energy, they started knowing people that they're like, they need this, boom, right into a partner. Again, same conversation that you have as a customer, I give options. These are your options. These are your starter kits. Like, what would you like to do? And you put the value on the different ones and what comes with them. They're going to choose for themselves, just like she's doing with the product. Okay. She's showing them the value of each product, how it aligns with their goals. And from there, they get to choose. So also just know, like, you can do all of these things. There's so much money in the customer career plan. And for people who are coming into the business and they're scared, guess what? Get them going here. Like, you can make awesome freaking money in the customer career plan. And then all you're doing as you build your team is just building on top of that. But those, I would tell you, are quick wins, right? And we all love a freaking quick win, right? Jess, is there anything that we didn't go over that you're like, I want to share this with them because I feel like this is what helped me? Did you have like a monthly goal that got you to top team, or kind of show them like, how did you track it or how did you make it a reality?
You know what? I didn't track it because I feel like I would, but it would stress me out, like trying to hit those goals. I just knew that I needed to be really, really consistent and I would hit it eventually. I think that's one of the things that I really love about Zinzino is that even once you hit pro team, A team, we'll start small. Even X team, if you're getting your 10 products sold, and I love that it's products, it's not 10 customers. Like, you can hit 10 with 3 customers. You know what I mean? So you can reach like ECBX. Once I saw that win and I was like, okay, all my new credits are now doubled. So I'm ranking up faster and I'm reaching those career titles faster. So then I was like, okay, kind of like game on. That alone gave me the little fuel. And then it was like, oh, now I hit A team. And I was like, that was huge for me. You guys, if you haven't hit A team, once you do and you can see your commissions go from 10% to 20%, one 30-day drop for me in Canada is like $40. $40 for one customer. So I'm like, that in It Works, it wasn't like that. But I like that we get paid weekly. So I'm like, oh, another weekly paycheck. And then they give you the bonuses once you hit A team. So you're making an extra $130 a month on top of that. And then you're getting double RCB on reoccurring. So then your weekly little bonuses, you reach faster. And it's just really cool. That's like, okay, they will pay you more if you're being consistent in enrolling customers. And I just really laser focused in on host to post because I'm like, if I'm not, usually I do giveaway. I offer anyone who hosts a post for me the distributor option. Sometimes I sprinkle in more distributor ones because I really did want to build a team. But with this one, I'm stepping back from building a team because in where I'm at in this season, I'm like, I could just make really good money through customers. Maybe I'll just take a break from like training and like I would pour into my people so much. Not that I don't want to and that I'm not going to. I love the fact that the customer career plan's easy and like you can get there quickly and you can make lots of weekly pay and monthly pay. Anyways,
And it's
and
one
then
part, like, like I said, in business, sometimes you'll have different frustrations, right? And there's growing pains. Like we all know that. We've all experienced that. But I also like one thing I think you will find in successful people's stories, they are going to hone in on what they can control. Okay, like that's almost like medicine to us because we're workers. Like we know we're workers. Like Jess is like, I'm a worker. I'm like, so am I. Like we enjoy doing the work, right? We enjoy we're talking to people. And I think that's one of the cool things too, is that you can make so much money in the career plan. And you know what? Like you get to do all of that. Like that is something that you have full control over, and you can literally see what your income increase will be. Like, so when people are like, I want to make an extra $500, you guys, that is top team. Like she's got that recurring bonus that's just coming to her now, right? It's every single time. And then you obviously earn that $11,500 bonus on top of that. That's also adding on to that and getting paid monthly. That's not even her 30% commissions, which is crazy. So you think about that. Like, so sometimes if you do, like I say that too, sometimes I don't always focus. I will help other people. I will guide them. I'm going to mentor them, but I can't do it for them. So what's really cool about some of the career customer plan is that, like Jess said, you, first of all, no matter what you're doing and you're building, you want to go A team as fast as you can, because all it's doing is it's doubling every single thing that you're doing for your work. The fact that Zinzino offers that, you guys, I just like ask yourself at your 9 to 5, if you're working hard, are they going to be like, hey, we're just going to pay you double? Like they don't say that. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't do that. So it's like, how cool that as soon as you hit A team, and then like you said, you start seeing how fast it kind of starts going, and you're like, well, actually, as soon as you see that, you can see even like what is necessary to hit the certain careers. You guys, you cut it in half. Like once you got A team, it's really half of that. So you can kind of focus on that and go find your little donut on there. But it is super, super fun to see just the different rewards that we have in on there. So Jess, is there anything else that you would want to share with them for those that want to go? Like if they're like, July, I freaking want to go top team. You said host to post, find your system, right? Find your system, upsell the balance oil, a balance test. If your system is in Zinzino, do that too. That's totally fine. Like I do a lot of the health protocol, but I upsell the crap out of coffee because people love coffee. So, and I share my coffee all the time. And so, you find your system, and then she's obviously getting into the conversation with host to post. So she's doing, we'll get your wording on that, but then she's also doing the giveaway posts, right? And having people post because it kind of opens up more of your network. And anything else that you would tell them?
So it depends. If you're someone who's been in the business prior, maybe you were with It Works or not, I would say taking care of your customers is huge. I went through and I messaged all my customers, letting them know about the new website transition and is there anything that they're wanting. We have new products now. I let them know about the balance test and oil. That's actually how I went A team, was just from previous customer conversations and some of them jumping in. And then letting potentials know. I think that's why I didn't probably post as much, just because I was just following up with so many people. A ton of my enrollments came from referrals. You guys, I get referred to all the time.
I see that.
I have a page, a Facebook page that has like over 365 recipes in it, like workouts in it, health tips in it that I add my customers to. So I'm not just selling them a product. I really do want to help them with their health goals. And because of that, I think I get a lot of customers refer me customers. I let my customers know, hey, you have a link in your site that people can shop through. I've had people do that as well to get customers. I've had a ton of referrals. I'll say last month was probably the most month that I've ever had referrals before. And then, yeah, don't necessarily stress yourself out on HAPs. I used to be like, okay, I have to get 10 a day. And then I would never hit my goal. And then I would feel like, I'm like I suck. You know what I mean? Like, you know how we mentally tell ourselves things. So I'm like, 3 to 5 a day is it. If I can, and I can do that like pretty freaking quick. And then I'm like, yes. And then I'm like, I hit that goal. Let's try to do it one more time. So I would say push to get 3 HAPs up a day, 3 product HAPs up a day. I don't include my giveaways. So try to get up 3 product posts a day. And the really cool thing, hopefully money, if you're a money motivated person, if you can sign like 5 customers a week, which is like one every other day ish. Sometimes you'll like when I do my follow up Friday, sometimes I'll get like 2 or 3 on Friday. I won't get any for a couple days. But even that's like $200 to $300 a week just in those weekly customer bonuses.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not including monthly pay. So Host to Post is incredible because you can bring in like $300 paychecks just from getting a handful of customers each week. And then you're earning those bonuses and everything else that comes with it as well. Do I have any notes? I wrote notes. I am green. I wrote notes. Let me see if I wrote anything else. Yeah, Host to Post, referrals. And retention, like retention is just so important. Like once you get those 5 in a week, make sure that you're taking care of them. Because if they stay, if it's like a lifetime product, like the oil, the greens, the coffee, even I have people, the aloe, like those are probably my 4 that I have customers reordering every single month that have stayed on for months and months and some like 2+ years. And so you can reach your pro team or top team. You don't even have to enroll necessarily. Like, I don't want to say that you don't. Obviously, you do. You want to be consistent, continue your business. But at the same time, like the residual aspect of once you're achieving those goals, like Sarah said, you're paying yourself and then you're paying yourself more and you're paying yourself more. So I just love that they do that and then they give us bonuses for it. Like, and I'm going, so this month I'm like, okay, Jessica, I've recognized that I've been slacking on my posting and I gave myself that little bit of breathing room. And I'm like, okay, now it's like I was training for my marathon. It was hard. And so I took a little bit of a break for a while and I was like, okay, did all my content prep for the week. It's ready to go. And I'm going to be getting back into it. And I want to go top team 200. Like I reached that goal. Yeah. Feels freaking good, but we can keep continuing to grow, especially with the residual part of it. I love it.
Yeah. And I love the referral aspect because you guys, if you didn't know that, they do have a referral link. So as a customer, they can see it in their back office, they can go and they can copy it, and that's where people can order from. You'd be surprised as people start to understand, but also as they start to feel the difference in their energy, in quality of sleep, that type of stuff, they start talking about it naturally. So it's like leading with that balance oil and that balance test. It's something that people just don't know about. And then again, like you can bring in all your other stuff by just asking a simple question of like, what are you struggling with? Where are your health goals? What are your wellness goals look like? Right. And so just take your time in your conversations, and really your customers are freaking gold to your business. And so somebody asked a question, and this is actually a really good question, so I do want to answer this. I'm going to stop the recording for 1 second.